Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where we are currently working on this independence war, and we're hoping that we don't capture the leader here, who is actually in charge of this army. It would be very unfortunate if we did, because we would lose all of our progress. I actually really hate the way that independence wars and capturing the enemy war leader works in CK3. I think it's really bad to punish people for capturing the leader of the independence faction, when in every other circumstance, that's an instant end to the war. We didn't capture him there, so that's good. We're going to come down here and fight these guys, and in the meantime, we are working on getting their capital under our control. So this will be just fine. We do have additional factions brewing, and in fact, here's one of them. Okay. We would probably win this? I feel like I don't want to fight it, though. So we're not going to fight that and risk our siege weapons. That would be not good. We're going to come down in over here, and this is completely fine. Like, I don't think that there's a problem here. I do think that we should probably raise additional troops. Somewhere around 20,000 to go attack these guys. They're raising troops here as well. Okay. Are they led by their Khan? They are. We would really like to not capture him. I hate the way that that works in Crusader Kings 3. They just leave the war, and all of this progress here, which is, by the way, currently meaning that they cannot win. But if we capture this guy, they actually can win the war. It's so weird. It's so weird. I'm hoping that Paradox does something about that, maybe in the current version, but I didn't see anything in the patch notes about changing that. It's very strange. So they're going to be landing over here. That's fine. We are going to be hitting this force right here, and then probably coming down over this way. I want to raise around 20,000 troops to go attack these guys up over here. That'll be fine. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and attack this over here, and these guys will immediately head on in to take this capital. That will be a big deal. This looks negative for us, but they're not actually capable of winning the war right now because they are capped at minus 100 occupied counties. We have ticking on our side and battles on our side, and we've got 14% from occupation. So that'll be fine. No problem there. So we'll get their capital. Hope that we don't capture their leader, and indeed we did not. We're going to come down here, and this actually is led by their leader. So, I mean, maybe we'll capture that leader, and in a populist uprising, that would actually be a good thing. So we'll see if that ends up happening, but I kind of doubt it. Odds are not amazing on that one. And yeah, they're working on a lot of different sieges, but this doesn't matter. They can only get 50% more war score from sieges, and we'll just nullify all of that. To the point where we'll have ticking... Well, not in this war. We'll have ticking war score, we'll have battle war score. That'll all just be fine. Excellent. We do want to get out of these wars relatively as soon as possible, but we absolutely... Oh, we did actually capture him. Surprising. Well, that means that we don't have to continue raising over here. We'll move these guys in to be able to reinforce this army if necessary. And I guess we can take over the slow siege here, at least until these guys are freed up. We did capture Cordoba there, and we captured his heir, but that's only worth 10%. Okay, we're gonna head on down and continue our siegings. Now, we do have more factions behind this. There are, I believe, 2, if I recall correctly. Yes, Norwegian Orthodox populists as well as peasant rabble. Okay. So, we'll actually wait until those pop. The Norwegian peasants may actually end up fighting a number of our enemies for us, and that would be really nice. So we'll hold off on that for the moment. And our major plan for dealing with this independence war at this point is largely attrition. We want this war score from held objectives, battles won, and war score from prisoners. These 3 together need to equal 90%. I say 90 because we get 10% for free from occupying the enemy capital. That does not count towards the 100% cap. Otherwise, we just want to nullify their occupations. So that's the overall plan for this war. As far as the other two that are brewing, we'll deal with those as they come up. Yeah, we'll get friends with this guy. That'll be fine. Okay, so we're okay with them continuing to siege. This doesn't really matter. They can get 82% more, not 82. They can get 32% more from their siegings. And that's okay. We've got 75% that we can get from siegings still. And we've got ticking on our side. So this is absolutely fine. They're going to out-siege us for a little bit here. That's okay. We're going to split this in half for supply reasons, and then we're just going to do something like that. Now, we would prefer not to fight additional battles against this guy if we can help it. We don't want to capture him. He is, after all, the war leader, and this is an independence war, so we don't want to capture him because that would mean he would just leave the war. It shouldn't work that way, but it does. I strongly believe it shouldn't work that way. Like, I'm not saying that capturing the war leader in an independence war, is he leading this? He is. But we have to fight this. We can't allow this army to exist here. We just have to roll the dice and hope. If we capture him, we lose this war. I think. Very close to it. If we capture our enemy, that loses us the war. Because he leaves the war and all of this war score just evaporates, and there's no one nearby him that we can attack that is rebelling. Everyone else is way up here. Like, this is a really awkward situation, actually. But we have to fight this, or do we? Do we just let them walk away? Yes, actually, we do. We let them walk away. As long as they're not threatening our siege force, I don't want to fight them. Okay, now this is the Peasant Revolt. So that is going to be over in our capital. 4,300 troops. Okay, let's just go ahead and raise up, like, literally right next to them. And how many are we going to need? Like 10k? This is plenty. We're going to go in and crush them. Then we can utilize these troops to, I don't know, slow siege up here or something. Maybe. But we need to offset their siege war, or their siege score right now, which is currently 68%. But yeah, as long as they're not threatening our siege force, and we should probably move these guys over to support our siege force. So it looks like they're heading out into this fog to try to come down over this way. The crossings over here are here and here. So they're going to be fairly limited in where they can cross. That's okay. Additional siege lost, that's actually not a bad thing. There's only 21% more that they can get from siege, and we can get a lot more than that. So that's beautiful. We're going to keep sieging, and we're going to head up over here. That is rebelling, correct? Correct. We're going to have these guys park over here, these guys park here, and these guys park here. We just need to keep close to our siege force so that they can't threaten it. Okay, that's the Peasant War over. That's expected. So we'll enforce that. Now, there is still that Norwegian War. Now, this is going to be a populist war. Where is this guy? I don't know. Oh, he's the war leader. Right. So these counties here. Okay, so that's not going to be as Norwegian as expected. Let's go ahead and immediately begin raising troops over in, like, the Constantinople-ish area. Like, over here. Emphasis on the ish. And we'll just raise some troops there and be ready to deal with that, in theory. Now, we do have these guys over here not doing anything at the moment. I'm going to have them walk up and slow siege. That should be fine. You are in this war, correct? Yes. Cool. So that slow siege will be okay. And we've got ticking war score on our side at this moment. So that's already at 20%. So we're at a total of 35% war score is what I'm considering this right now. I don't actually care about this minus 22%. This will eventually be positive 10%. So that's fine. No problem there. Throw him out. Get rid of that smallpox. They're embarking over here. That's good. If that's the case, then we're going to come down and we're going to begin slow sieges over here. These guys are going to be moving over this way very soon, so that'll be fine. We'll start those slow sieges, and we haven't had the other group of populace spawn just yet. That is, I feel like, not where I told you to go. I feel like I told you to go here, but okay. There we go. We are safe from smallpox. Perfect. So we're going to head down over to Cadiz. Excellent. That puts us at 22% war score. They can get another 21%, so they actually can't even take the war score negative anymore. Yeah, they can now get 13% more war score. They can't take it negative. That's really, really good for us. So that's fine. We'll get these slow sieges started. These guys are still making their way over this way. And we're still gathering over here. This will be a little bit. How many are we going to need here? Honestly, probably not more than around 20k. We lost another siege, and that actually caps them. So the sieges are no longer relevant that they're doing. Those are no longer at all important to the war. This is more than enough troops here. Cool. Okay. These guys do not need to be where they are anymore. In fact, they should come down here and begin a slow siege. There we go. Excellent. Yeah, this siege is completely and totally irrelevant. I'm shocked that these guys haven't sent their ultimatum. They can send it at any time. They've chosen not to. Baffling. This does not matter. None of these sieges are relevant anymore. We're only going to be moving up in the war score now. It is not possible for them to get any more war score other than battles. Or sieging our capital, I suppose. They could do that. But yeah, they are at their cap. They're not going to get more. We can get another 35% ourselves. And then after that, it's going to be battles and ticking war score. So that's fine. We definitely need to move these guys and get these guys moving down to Sabta. No, not yet. There we go. Now we can move. In fact, let's just go resupply. Cool. So we're at 19% war score, and that's just going to continue to rise. Maybe not as high as we'd like it to, but it'll get there. We're at plus 30 from ticking war score, and that's just going to keep going up every month. Actually, more than one per month. Like, ticking war score is super important in Crusader Kings. These sieges don't matter. They're completely and totally irrelevant. These guys, we're going to split them up because they're currently going to be taking attrition, and we don't really want that right now. Like, it's kind of insane how long it's taking these guys to actually pop. So we're going to get these spread on out. And that'll actually be fine. Cool. There we go. He's raising up additional troops over here, but those are not relevant troops. So we're going to move up over this way, and we are at 76 at this time. We do get a new stewardship lifestyle perk. Beautiful. We're going to take Hergeld. That will help us with our income situation. We're going to go ahead and extort our subjects. We don't want to be too far in debt after all. I wouldn't have raised troops if I had known that it was going to take this long for them to actually pop. But we're going to take the 750 gold. And, I mean, we're going to keep going negative. No doubt about that. But that's okay for the time being. So another 24% that we can swing this. And then we're going to need to go start looking for locations that are occupied that we can take back, or battles. One or the other. Those are going to be the options. For now, we're going to take our siege force up over here. Beautiful. We can still swing this another 13%. Sounds good. So that'll take us up to like 60. Not too bad. And I mean, sieging back territory, because they are well over their cap, that's going to take quite a while. We're probably better off seeking out their armies. Like this one. That might not be a terrible concept. Okay, we can swing this another 2%. So we do want to take one final siege over here, and that'll be this one. Excellent. Now they would absolutely white peace at this time. No more sieging is going to be useful after this county is sieged. So from here, we need to group together and start looking for armies. There are armies up over here. I suppose we could head up that way. That's quite a ways away. Armies over here. They're not in our capital, though. And this slow siege is no longer relevant. We're going to actually just move these guys back to our capital. That slow siege does not matter, and I would rather not take that attrition if I can at all help it. Okay. So let's get all of these guys grouping up over here. They are going to need to be grouped. Man, I definitely wouldn't have raised these troops if I'd known it was going to take this guy this long to send his ultimatum. He's just been chilling on can send an ultimatum at any time for like years. Okay, if that's what he wants to do. We're going to group in over here, and we're going to start going in search of some battle war score. We can actually no longer click on the war because of all of the occupations. That's a little awkward, actually. The fix for that I found previously was to go and turn the GUI scaling off, which of course does this, which is not particularly helpful, but that allows us to actually go into the war. So yeah, I'm going to turn the GUI scaling back on. Of course, I'm recording at 4K, which is why the GUI scaling is a thing at 200%. There we go. So that's how you get back into that war if you have the scaling issue, just for the record. So I think we're going to make our way up over this direction. I mean, we need to get up here. How long would it actually take us? 9 months, and we're going to take heavy attrition along the way, I suspect. This will also be an expensive embarkation. The other option is we just wait for the war score. I'm not convinced that that's the better option, but it is an option. We could just wait. We're at 68% right now. And I mean, ticking is still going to proceed. I'm actually thinking about putting these troops down. They'll take up to 3 months to return home. That's basically no time. And that will mean that we're paying less. I also feel like we don't need as many troops as are over here right now. We could send, like, these guys home. They'll take up to 3 years. I'm aware of this. But we can send these 24,000 home. And this should be sufficient over here for if these guys ever decide to actually rebel, which so far they haven't. It's very strange. We could probably downscale our levy troops over here as well. Like, get rid of these 10K. That would put us positive in the monthly income. And I think that's a really good idea. Be working our way out of debt while we're waiting on this. So I think that's fine. I think we just wait. Nothing that they do up here, as long as they don't attack the capital, which they're not. They're not threatening the capital at all. Nothing that they do up here is at all going to be relevant to the war. So I think we just ignore them from here. These guys, I would love it if they'd actually get around to rebelling. We'll see when they do. They're just chilling on that. Very strange. We're at 74% war score right now. Like, all we need to do is wait for 25 more ticking war score, which is going to be like a year. That's not too bad. We are negative on cash, of course, and we would come out of the negative much faster if we weren't in this war. Or more specifically, if we didn't have these troops raised. I feel like even this is overkill. I'm going to get rid of another 10k stack of levies here. And then these can group together. Yeah, so this is like 28,000 troops. This should be sufficient to hold this area. And we are actually going to have to go fight these guys. And we're going to have to fight these guys too. We can't let them take this territory back. So we're going to head up there and make sure that they don't. But otherwise, this is fine. Completely and totally okay. So up we go. We have to make sure that we hold the territory. But this is all we need. We need another 21 ticking war score. So that's fine. And we should be reasonably positive on our monthly income, in theory. We're just going to go occupy their capital. This will be okay. Excellent. We don't appear to actually be making 56 gold per month. I can't help but notice. That appears to be a thing. We're making like 10 gold per month. But whatever. That's okay. We can demand payment from this Khan, and actually I will, to work on our debt. And we can change this gentleman's contract. We're going to go for feudal levies. Excellent. None of the sieges that they're doing matter. Those are all completely and totally irrelevant. All we need is 17 more ticking war score now. We raised up another 1,000 troops over here. That's not going to be particularly relevant either. But this seems fine. I just can't believe that this guy hasn't actually sent his demand yet. Like, what are you doing, buddy? I have no idea what he's up to. But at this rate, once this war is over, he might not be able to send the demand. We only need 15 more war score. And honestly, I'm going to take it up to speed 4 for right now. Maybe even speed 5. Because we're just waiting for this war to end. You know what? Let's take it to speed 5. Cool. So we need 12 more war score. Make that 11. 10. Beautiful. We don't care about any of these sieges. These are all completely irrelevant to us. 1,000% irrelevant. It feels really weird that we don't care about any of this. But we don't. We really, really don't. We need 6 more war score. 5 more. We definitely want to let this just end. And we want to imprison all of these guys. Because we want to be able to restructure our realm for our vassal limit. And that's going to be probably a next episode thing. I think we're going to spend most of the episode doing that. This is a lot of people. Ooh, imprisoning a Khan. I like it. It's going to be a lot of people that we're going to be stripping titles away from. So that's fine. And there we go. The war is over. Now, in order to actually interact with the war, we're going to have to hop over into 100% GUI scaling. There we go. And perfect. I probably can't read this very well unless you're watching in 4K. Even this is pretty small in 4K. But we're going to imprison all of these Khans. It's a whole lot of them. Enforce those demands. Now we're going to disband all of our troops, including the guys over here. And let me go ahead and turn our GUI back up so that it's legible again. There we go. Perfect. And we are immediately, possibly, What's going on with this guy? This guy may immediately rebel. If he does, that's not a big deal. We're not going to be on speed 5 anymore. No, we're not going to ransom a Khan. Okay. Well, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we'll see if this guy decides that he actually wants to rebel or not. And we're also... Oh, that's so beautiful to see. Look at all of those Khans imprisoned. We're going to strip titles from a lot of them next episode, and it's going to be great. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.